Ate twacemanirie handu kiravu-ini wi muriu na nie nywite bangi ate twakinya kwanyu ukira nyukwa wanyu ate twacemanirie handu kanitha-ini ni uwi ni maheni ni uwi ni maheni ucio etagwo irungu wa nyina wa irungu niwe mwitaga Erosh igua mukimwita Erosh aguaga njitagwo irungu wa nyina wa irungu or what you call Erosh. So shout out to everyone. And so Erosh, most of you know Erosh. We've been with Erosh at the folk fusion events. Etaga irogo wa nyina wa irogo. You have been with Erosh in so many instances. Now, today, I want us to talk a little bit about lies. A little bit about lies and why people lie. Okay, now when it comes to lying, when you look at the words to lie, you can tell someone to lie low, you can tell someone to lie down. So already, just beginning with the letter L, that L, okay? How do you know whether a person that is lying to you, whether they are doing it out of a pattern? Because there can only be two reasons as to why people will tell lies. One, maybe that person is trying to, manage their perception. Or maybe that person is avoiding shame or insecurity. Most of the times when you are lying is because you don't want to be shamed. You are regretful of something that you did, meaning you are moving backward, you are stuck in something, or you have an insecurity that you are trying to cover up, so you need to bring in some lies. Now, most of you, we grew up in environments where there can never be truth. Like truth was never told in our homesteads. Because every time you told the truth, you'd have to be punished. Because we grew up with baby boomer parents. So most of these parents didn't even know better. Based on how they were raised by their grandparents, who also didn't know better. So you will find that a lot of the things that you were told not to do when you were growing up as kids, because you have grown up, our culture has enabled children to be raised up in a way whereby there's no accountability. And since there's no accountability, there's no explaining, then the only way you can be safe is by lying. Because if you didn't lie, the punishment would be too harsh. Or rather, there will be rejection. I told you not to do this and you did this, so you feel that rejection. So telling the truth in most of our African contexts, and remember, this is not our ways. These are learned ways. We were very natural in our ways. For example, in our culture, Gikuyu ndari thahu mugiro na kirumi. Nie ndiethemaga thahu mugiro na kirumi. I repeat, nie ndiethemaga thahu mugiro na kirumi. Uria njikaga ni gucitongoria. Ndiethemaga thahu, ndiethemaga kirumi, na ndiethemaga ki? Mugiro. Tono nditongoretie. Tondu wa mbere, I know very well that Gikuyu ndari mugiro. What do I mean? Gutiri undu mundu agirwo ni gukorwo akigirio. Ndwagirwo ni kugirio undu. Ndwagirwo ni kwirwo ndugeke. Wagirirwo ni kumenyithio. Ti kugirio, kumenyithio. Ati kana gaka nuona ndoro iria i haria ungithi utengerete ndoro-ini iria ri no ugwe na ungikigwa no uthue no ndunamwira ndugateng'ere ndoro-ini. Iyo niyo migiro. Migiro ni ithuĩ twĩigagĩrĩra, na ĩno nĩ mĩgambo. Ici nĩ huho, atĩ no ikiria mwana ũcio rũhuho, atĩ mwana ũcio na angĩteng'era hau ndararĩ wa kũgũa, no rĩu no agwe hau ndoro-inĩ tondũ nĩ wamũikĩirie huho. Koguo Gĩkũyũ ti wa mũgiro, ndakũgiragia ũndũ, nĩ wa gũkũmenyithia atĩ iria nĩ njũkĩ. Wakaratha nĩ tũrathane, iria nĩ njũkĩ. Na njũkĩ nĩ njega, nĩ hũngi, no ĩhũnge, no ũngĩthiĩ ũmĩcogothe rĩ, no ũgĩkore kĩ? Nĩ muonana nayo. Koguo niĩ ndithemaga thahu, mũgiro na kĩrumi, nĩ gũcitongoria ndĩcitongoragia. Gĩkũyũ ndarĩ mũgiro, Gĩkũyũ ndarĩ thahu. Aca, tondũ ti ũhoro wa gũthaha, nĩ gũtheria tũtheragia ũndũ. Atĩ we ũkĩinũka, nĩ kũinũka ũkũinũkaga, wagerera handũ wĩinũkĩte, wathiĩ wakora atĩ haha rĩ, he mũndũ wanyua kanuthu ga kegi kana ga konyagi, atiga ringithia gacuba thĩ. Nĩ njohi mũndũ wanyuaga ũkarigwo nĩkĩĩ kĩmũrakarĩtie. He tũcohi tũrĩa andũ manyuaga makarakara, ndũĩ nĩkĩĩ kĩmũrakarĩtie. Twathekaga na Mũnjirũ mũthenya ũngĩ tũkĩinũka Gĩkũyũ, tũrũgamĩte junction-inĩ twetereire ngari cirĩkie kũhĩtũka tũmanji, and then we joined the traffic. Then out of nowhere these young guys are walking, manyuĩte tũnuthu. All of a sudden tũraigua makĩũria, we nginya ũndĩhe. Ithuĩ tũtirĩ kũra, twetereire ngari cingĩ. Ngĩra Mũnjirũ nĩkĩĩ kĩrora. Mũnjirũ akĩnjĩra andũ makona maũndũ maingĩ. But then you can understand that whatever this guy got the liquor that is drinking, kũrĩa arutire njohi ĩno aranyua rĩ, nĩkuo kwĩna marakara. You see, the alcohol that you are drinking, alcohol you call it a spirit. The alcohol that you are drinking, the bar, keyword bar, or the place where you are drinking the alcohol, or the people who are in contact with whatever you are drinking, whatever you are taking, whatever you are consuming, okay? The people, places, and things with whatever you are consuming, whether it's physically, spiritually, it doesn't matter, mentally. It matters a lot. Let's say, wathiĩ wagũra kanuthu ha Sikũ. Karabu kau ga Sikũ rĩ, tũrabu tũkoragwo tũkunĩkĩtwo na tũcuba na nyota. Karabu kau ga Sikũ rĩ, goka andũ mena maũndũ mao, rĩngĩ nĩho matani manyuaga. Tani, shout out to all the conductors, ndirauga this in a bad way. Tani nĩ cikoragwo under a lot of pressure because you deal with a lot of people. Since the dawn of break, you are ferrying hundreds of passengers. O mũndũ na ngoma ciake na kũrĩa uma. So, conductors have high tolerance, and to be really honest, a conductor is someone who has high skills when it comes to interacting with people. Tondũ arũgama every stage, beba, baumbao kawangore kona, agakuua andũ atoĩ. All types of spirits are interacting with him in that car. So, harĩa makanga mathiaga kũnyua tũcohi tũtũ rĩ, mokaga nao mena kĩũndũ kĩa, aingĩra gwĩte, we Wanjikũ, ũkarehe itina rĩu na gũkũ, njĩkĩra kanuthu ga 50 we. So, any other liquid that is in that bar is recording all that conversation. Remember, water retains memory. You can program your water before you drink it, na vitu kama hizo. So, he andũ ũngĩnyua njohi, ũkĩre na hangover. Wokĩra mũtwe ũguo ũkaigua ndaigua ta kwĩna kanitha mũtwe ũcio, ndaigua ta kwĩna ndarama. But kuna place unaweza kunywa unasikia umeamka aje? I mean hata sina hangover. Why? Because it depends on where you are getting your liquor from. Where did you buy your liquor from? What kind of den? It's a liquor den. A den of thieves, a den of lions. So what kind of den? Bado hujakam. And also understand that anything that comes after D, death, anything that is DE, de-evolving. So you are drinking from a den. Already that is D. Acceleration. So it's stopping you from something. Also understand the power of words. So when you say I'm going to drink in that day, na vitu kama hizo. So inaku affect your drinks. But that is not the direction of this conversation. That was just by the way. So most of you grew up in environments where you could not tell the truth. It was very unsafe for you to tell the truth. You tell the truth, you are beaten up. Ukaya, siana isi, dagari isi. No, you took the 10 shillings and you went and you bought something. And it's okay, you are a child. You took $1, you took 10 shillings, or whatever you took. But now, you couldn't confess to your parents that you took that money. Because ile kichapo itakupata ni kichapo ya umbwa. Nyi mnaonanga, mliona juzi mama amepigilia mtoto msumari kwa kichwa. So tell me, will that child ever in their life, and this is the only time I'm going to use the word ever, tell the truth? The kind of abuse that you met on your children in Africa it's out of this world. It is learned. How can you take how can you take a hammer and a nail and hammer your child in the head? Imagine that. Now the child is in hospital waiting for the hammer to be taken out of their head. And this is done by a mother. So what does that do? So that is going to force that child to never ever trust in anyone. So they will not tell the truth. So them lying is going to become a core pattern. So in their life, they'll have a core pattern, something that is deep innate inside them, where whenever they want to tell the truth, they are going to feel unsafe. So tell me what kind of adults we are bringing up. So there are some people who lie about little things or things that seem insignificant, unimportant. I know someone, and we were having a conversation, and they said, you know what? I said, what? They said, I was talking to this person, and I lied about this and this and this and this to them, blah, 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 something that was not even supposed to be there. And I didn't even say anything about it. But now, coming to think about it, because today I'll be meeting, I'll be meeting him later, I will tell him that that was not right. So these little things that you lie about, they may not look like they are important at all. But what has happened is that your lying has become a pattern. A pattern. So you are lying subconsciously. And when you are lying subconsciously, you'll be lying even when you don't need to. So you create stories. You create stories out of the thin air. You fabricate lies even when you are not even needed to be having a conversation. But this is happening subconsciously. And it's coming from a pattern that is inside you. And this pattern is because it is very unsafe for you, or when you are growing up, it was very unsafe for you to tell the truth. And you're in a society where you can't tell that, you cannot express yourself. The moment you tell someone your truth, either there's stigma, either there's victimization, or you allow that to happen to you. So the reality is that the moment someone tells you a lie, what do? The first thing you want to do is get away from that person. So it's sending you into a flight pattern, or you want to fight them. But here's the thing. Every time someone is lying to you, what they are doing is they are signaling. This is a signal. So understand that when it comes to understanding yourself core at the spiritual level, what is the most likely thing for your spirit to notice? Your spirit will react quickly to a sign, a symbol, okay? A sign, a symbol. That is why they use symbols in religion like crosses. Even when you are traveling, you find a zebra crossing, that's a sign. Someone is going to signal you to stop. There will be a street lights na vitu kama hizo. Because the reason being, these are the things that you react to quickly before language. So, every time someone is lying to you, at your core, that is a signal for danger. Like, what am I saying? Like, let's say you're driving on the road. And I don't want this to happen to anyone who's listening or watching us. Let's say you're driving on the road and you find someone who has had their car break down, or your car breaks down. So you have to get out of the car and signal the other motorists that there's something. So you're either going to take out your hazard sign and go and put it out there. So anyone driving, the moment they see the sign, that would be a signal of danger ahead of you. And when someone is lying to you, that's a signal for danger. Because we need the people who are close to us to be very trustworthy. And when these people's words, when their actions and their words don't align, what happens to your body? Your body now tells you that this person is a threat. This person is now a threat. So they are lying, thinking is, che, nimesikia. So let me talk to him. Let's go outside. There's a delivery guy who has arrived, and we have to inform him to wait one more minute before the first lady leaves. Kahios! Aizisikia juu ya motorbike. Kaitangwa Kahio. Hey! Okay. His name is Kahia. Kahia means to burn. Kahia, to burn. Give me a second. And then we continue. Just a second. Sing me a song. Sing me a song. Are you missing me? Just sing me a song. Sing me a song. Are you missing me? Just sing me a song. Sing me a song. Sing me a song. Hey! Do 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 do. Let's finish this live, eh? Just sing me a song. What happened to my live? Are we still live? Tung 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 tung. So I placed my phone on the ground 1 minute and everything goes blank. That's a notification. Why are you texting me now? So, let's continue. Oh, I've just seen something beautiful outside. So in our culture, whenever you see, let me not even say our culture. Let's just say when it comes to symbolism and understanding things like when you're in nature. We have this farm mice, etagwo gara. Gara, wiguaga uciare ukire gara na kamwe because it gives birth to so many. So when it crosses your path, it's supposed to be a lucky day. Yeah, bye, ciao. Nikuja nifunge? Sawa. So, like we were saying, whenever you feel or whenever someone lies to you, your body is going to signal you that this person is a threat. So when we are lied to or when we lie, there's a threat that happens to you. I have to go again and close the gate. And then now we can be undisturbed. Eh? But we can learn to repair. We can have a difficult conversation. It shouldn't be like that. Let me close the gate. Like I was saying, we can learn how to have difficult conversations. You know, the thing is that we are growing up from, or we are in a world whereby accountability, but based on the punishment that comes from these things. So we can have difficult conversations. We can work through issues, and that's the thing. Why can't we just work through issues? Okay? Why can't we just apologize? So there's this norm or maybe like the red pill, all this. So we are a very artificially laced society because we are raised by people who don't even know better. Like, for example, when you go to the red pill, they talk about not apologizing. Okay? So we have a world where we don't work to rebuild trust. We are not rebuilding trust. We have to agree that we all fail, we all fall, okay? And we can rebuild trust with the other person. But this can only come through what you call transparency. Transparency. But we're in a world whereby you are told to walk away. You know, don't take shit, just walk away. Now, when it comes to people who are now spiritually innate, there are those situations that don't need an explanation. I'm not talking about those situations because at the end of the day, there's people who you will have to see every day. For example, you may be in a situation, it's a situation or a relationship that you found yourself in, and there's other parties involved in that relationship. So as much as you are like, fuck, I can't deal with these people, you'll still have to, maybe, let's say there's child support. Let's say you people had a child together. You get what I'm saying? So there's those instances where you cannot fully walk away because it's connected. So you can learn how to interact with those people. When you have a pattern of lying all the time, what it means is that you or that person has no focus on repairing. So they don't have any interest in putting in the work to gain back your trust. They are not interested in putting in the work in any way, shape, or form to help you feel safe. So what they are focused on is just moving forward. And this is telling you that what they are saying is this: I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with this. And one of the ways that you can tell that a person is shifting on you, I'm a Taurus. My moon is in Leo. So I attract the Leo sign, that's my moon sign, so I attract a lot of attention. However, what is Taurus? I'm a master of the senses. So I know shit. I sense shit before it even, he's back, he's listening. But now I have the green skin, you can't see him. He's come to learn. He's also learning. It's a beautiful one. Can't take a picture of him though. He's a beautiful garden mice. He's just here next to me. He's listening. He's now going to my garden. So there's a pattern of lying. And how do you know, or how do you see this pattern? Whenever you're dealing with someone and the details of their life keep changing. So at the time you're like, but you had told me this, so the details of your life and their stories, they keep changing. That is someone who has a pattern of lying. These people are always keeping secret. They are always evasive. Every time you want to catch something, they are always evasive, always secretive. They are always defensive. Even on small questions, they are trying to be defensive. Their words don't match their actions. Every time you ask them, where are you? They tell you they are here, but the actions and everything that is happening is telling you, no, they are not there. So you have to second guess. They leave you feeling confused. And the truth is just that we are so disconnected from ourselves, but the truth is that your body knows when you're around someone who's lying, when you're around someone who's holding the truth. That is why you even keep asking. You pay attention to the times you're talking to someone and you ask them, is that true? Ni ukweli? Wacha? All those are pointers that there's something that is not rhyming. You're having a conversation with someone and you keep wacha is, or that is someone. So it's not you, but your body knows that whoever that person is, they are lying to you. So your intuition is picking it up. Your intuition, this is your nervous system. So your nervous system is on higher alert. Remember what I said, a lie signals danger. This person cannot be trusted. So a part of you is not relaxed with this person. You keep looking at the door. You keep waiting for that knock. Okay? Something is telling you. And I get a lot of conversations, or I get a lot of people who have conversations with me, and I can always, like for example, this morning, and this is totally unrelated to the, but it is connected. I had someone who was consulting with me, and they have been giving me a story that has not been rhyming up until to the last minute. Today I said, so who is this person in your life? And finally they have confessed and said, in fact, they didn't say this is my husband. They said, alitumia jina mpenzi. Mpenzi. This is my lover. But remember, this is their husband. They have been married for years. But they were ashamed to tell me the truth on what was happening in the background. But I could pick it up. I knew something is not adding up to this consultation. This consultation has been dragging for... No, the word is not dragging. Has been ongoing because they have been withholding stuff. And I didn't want to dig. I said, when the time is... Trust in the divine timing. When the time is right, they are going to open up. So they did that today. So my intuition was very right. My nervous system was on high alert. Every time they would engage me on a message, I was like, something is not right here. So when someone is lying to you, listen to your body, because your body will always know. Your intuition will always pick it. Your nervous system will always be on high alert. And every time you can't relax around someone, ask yourself, why do I feel like this? Why do I feel like I can't relax around these people? So this is the question. We have different patterns. And most of you are how you are raised up. Because most of you are walking, talking away from what is natural. You are in a very artificial world. In a very artificial world. Okay? So, follow your body. Listen to your body. That is being aware. Go more. There are some things you don't need to know why you know them. The moment you feel shit is not right, don't even waste time. This doesn't feel right. Immediately shift that energy. Move away from that place until you move to a place where you're feeling comfortable. Just say, which AI tool? Which AI tool? Which AI tool for what? The one that generated this image. This was from, what do you call that? The latest AI from China, the free source one, the one that they are trying out right now. It's higher than Quen. It's Quen. So QWEN, Quen AI, Quen.ai, Quen.ai. You can try it out. Try all these tools. All these are tools that you can use. Try them out. So for this, the reason you see Mount Kenya in the background there is because there was something that... This was a very easy query to the AI. This is even nothing. I can do amazing things with AI if I put my mind to it. But I'm better than AI. I'm better than AI. A million times better than AI. Fuck AI. Amanda says that her fish was watching her Ford Cruise. Yeah, you are connected to that fish. Connected to that fish. The fish you are keeping. You're connected to that fish. So today is Friday. So it's all about love and appreciation. So I have 8 minutes remaining here. This is Gemini time. I'm already on Gemini time. I'm not on my time Taurus time. My logo is no longer in the sky like Batman logo. Okay? I'm on Sodom and Gomorrah time, the third house. Communication. So if you have a question, You can ask a question in the remaining 8 minutes before we get out of here. I have to go to the garage first. I have to go and get something done. And then start my... continue with the lucid movement. Shout out to High Priestess Arabantela. We are no longer using the word days, to be stuck in the days, a maze. Shout out to the High Priestess. And shout out to all the subconscious community. And shout out to you too. Okay? My chickens have come to join me. You are talking of fish. I don't know if you can see with the green screen, but they are right here. But you can hear them though. They give me eggs. They are free-range chickens. Right now they are bent on eating grass. They love eating grass. You should be eating grass as a human. You should be eating grass. Not all grass is edible. There is edible grass. Don't just smoke grass. Okay? You can eat grass. I'm not telling you to be like that image in the Bible of eating grass. This is deeper than most of you to understand. There's grass that you can eat. So look for the edible grass. You don't even have to eat it. I'm just saying something like lemongrass. Before you say, oh, you can't eat grass. What is lemongrass? Lemongrass is grass. You can eat grass. So there's other different types of grasses that you can eat that are very good for you. Even look at your cat. You'll see your cat go outside, eat some grass. There's some benefits, but you have to understand what grass you are eating, okay? Don't just smoke it. No puns intended. Shout out to Amboy for saying lemongrass. 6 more minutes. So if you don't have a question, we can also end the live. If you don't have a question, we can end the live. Or we can talk about grass, edible grass for humans for 2-3 minutes. If it's something that you're interested in or not. No, it doesn't. So no question. Should I assume you have no questions? And then when it comes to teaching or reminding you, that's when you ask questions. When someone is deep in it, that's when you're like, oh my God, you know I have this question. I'm like, but when we say you ask questions, you don't have questions. But you can Google grasses that you can eat, something like wheatgrass. You can eat barley. Okay? There's many edible grasses. It's just that you live in an artificial world where you don't know the type of grasses you should be having. For example, if you are eating wheatgrass, you can grow wheatgrass. You are in the gym. Pick the wheatgrass, throw them in your blender. This boosts your immune system. This helps you in your digestion. This provides energy. Don't just consume your wheatgrass in a fresh juice or powder. Whenever you are taking chlorophyll, when you go in nature and you see chlorophyll, remember when we talked about melanin, and I told you what you have is a pigmentation. Melanin is spiritual. Melanin is the gift that you have. So chlorophyll, if you don't want to, that is why they tell you to take greens when you have cancer. If you want anti-cancer, what can you call them? Anti-cancer natural supplements. It's wheatgrass. It has chlorophyll. Look for a sheet. Spread them there. Spray some water. Let it grow. Pluck some. Throw in a juicer or your blender. Throw in whatever else you add with it. A melon or whatever. Blend it up. Drink it. Barley. You can get barley seed. The same thing. And barley is more so for cholesterol levels because barley deals with the vascular system or the heart. That is why when you drink beer, your heart races. Okay? So what's in that barley? Why do you drink beer? Beer has a lot of antioxidants. Even when you brew it, you know I make wine. So most of you know me. You know I make wine. You know I make moratina. You know I make a lot of what you call fermented drinks. Okay. You know right now I'm into supplements, sports supplements. I'm working on sports supplements that I'm testing on myself. I'm the guinea pig. Okay. So I went on a weight cutting plan to cut down my muscles all the way almost to the bone, like to shred. It was not intentional, but I was also doing that. And then now I'm creating my own supplement, okay, which will have, I grow oyster mushrooms, so I'll be using oyster mushrooms as the base. I won't tell you everything, but you are going to see the results. And then now that becomes a supplement. You see, this is the thing, and this is the thing that you need to understand. There is nothing that you can still not do. Most of you have resolved or you have given up and you are letting the white people get away with everything, where you think you can come up with products. Yet every other time we see new products coming into the market. How about you? Whatever you do, why don't you come up with a new product? We're in a new world. Who said everything has to be Nike? Who said everything has to be Adidas? You can still design a sports shoes if you're in sports. Take something and give it your energy. Trust in what you call God. Put one step forward. God does the rest. God does the rest. Take one step. Let God take the other step. Most of you, you are in designing. Stop duplicating things that have been made. There are only two things you can do in this world. One, create. You are the creator, you are not the creation. So create something new. If you can't create, transmute that which has been here. But that cycle has been closed out because we have cycles that need to be closed down. Transmute that thing, make it look new. Add your own flavor into that bit. Add your own sprinkle into that thing. Okay? That's the thing. Don't say, oh, now there's sports drink and that's it. No, how about your own sports drink? How about your own sports drink? All these things that are artificial, these are their own things. These are families. These are intellectual property rights. These are brands. How about your own brand? Who said that the world is done? This is the thing. Human beings have become so unimaginative that we have become consumers. We don't create anything new. How about your own sports drink? Can magic mushrooms elevate to Christ consciousness? You have mixed two things there, Christ and consciousness. Those are two different things. You can use mushrooms, but you need guidance. There are some people who come to me for what you call psychedelics, whatever you are calling magic mushrooms. I grow mushrooms, I grow oyster mushrooms. I'll be growing all the other mushrooms, Ganoderma, lion's mane, all those other mushrooms, all the way to the mushrooms that you're mentioning. There are some names I don't use for the sake of the live. And the people who come to me, when they come for consultation, they are those people who need. Actually, the word is not need. There are some people who deserve to be guided through a mushroom trip by a true alchemist. And to be really honest, the only person that I know that I've interacted with that can help you do that is Melek. Melek Kanso, he's on social media. Anaitwa Mukuta. He's a true alchemist. That one can guide you through that, but it doesn't just happen because you have to be truly deserving of that. This is for people who are really, really deep in trauma that they need to be put through that. So it's not for everyone. Don't just take the mushrooms for the fun of it. Though if you want, you can, but I wouldn't recommend that because I can go deeper into actually what happens when you take psychedelics. So when you take psychedelics, the reason you are seeing visions, and all these things that you cannot understand fast, the psychedelics attack your brain. They attack your brain. So what is happening, your brain is trying to repair itself. So the brain is trying to repair the cells that the psychedelics are attacking. This is deep. This is not for this life, because this now I have to jump into the spiritual shit that is happening behind. This is not for this life. This is for another. If you want things to do with mushroom, that's a consultation. That's a consultation. So if I don't want to give you bits and then you go and try things, that's for a consultation. So I won't go deeper into that. Have you ever read the book Here, Be Here Now? Be Here Now. No, I write books, Amanda. I don't read books. Most of the time when I go to write a book, I find that this is something I don't know how, but I go reading a book and I'm like, I know all this. It's the language they are saying and how they are putting, but I know all this. So I find books sometimes very boring. Someone is saying, I'm still swimming in the RH negative information. It's a lot to digest. Why do you only speak Swahili sometimes? It's very rare for me actually to speak Swahili. The language you hear me speaking is my mother tongue, Kikuyu. I rarely speak Swahili. Okay, so you can eat bare grass, lemongrass is for vitamins, antioxidants, even rice. The rice that you eat, rice comes from a grass. Even corn, the maize that you eat, corn, that's some type of grass. That is why you give it to the cows. Okay? So let's get out of here because of the time and also because you have done questions. So do have a beautiful day. Listen to your bodies. Listen to your intuitions when you're around people. Pay attention to people when they are lying for no reason at all, unnecessary lying. Understand that some of the reasons why they are lying is because it's not them. They don't want to lie. It's patterns on how they grew up. They were punished for telling the truth. So for some reason, they subconsciously tell lies. Because whatever they were growing up, they couldn't be safe. Because anytime they were in that environment, anytime they tried to tell the truth, they would either be punished for voicing their truth or they would be rejected. So it was very unsafe for them to tell the truth. Even when they grew up, and this is also for the women, our ladies, and shout out to our ladies and the amazing things that you are doing in this world. For example, let's say that a woman or a girl is going to their preteen years. In the African context, it's very unsafe for you to tell your parent that you are dating or that you have a boyfriend. So you start lying to hide that. I'm going to my auntie, but you know you are going to see your boyfriend. Why? Because there will be rejection from home. Who is that boy? You may even be punished for seeing a boyfriend. So the point that for you to tell the truth becomes very unsafe for you, that now becomes the pattern. And some of you are carrying those patterns into your lives now. Into your adult lives, you have a pattern where it's not safe to tell the truth. That's why you lie about little things that you don't need to. But then what happens is that this becomes a pattern. Subconsciously. It becomes a pattern. So you subconsciously lie without even knowing, and you become so good that even to yourself, you convince yourself that the lie is truth. Even to yourself, you're like, wait a minute. I know I was lying, but it sounded so true. So what you're sending to people who are actually very aware is a danger sign. For me, for example, if you're dealing with me, the moment you lie to me, for me, that's dangerous. For me, it's like, why am I even attracting someone who's untrustworthy? Why don't their words align with their actions? Yes, you are telling me one thing, but your action is different. You are telling me you didn't mean to do this, but your actions is different. So my body is telling me you are a threat, because if you can tell me one thing, but the actions are different. You get it? You are telling me one thing. Whatever you are telling me is, for lack of a better word, seems to be making sense to you. But the actions? No. The actions, no. 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 So, I can't hide myself. Learn to have difficult conversations. Learn to have difficult conversations. We can have difficult conversations. We're in a new world. Let's have difficult conversations. This avoidance is what is fucking us up. Running away from having difficult conversation. Stop being like your parents or your grandparents. We're in a new world. Let's work through issues. Learn to apologize. Let's get out of this niche that women don't apologize. Okay? Work. Whenever you break trust, you can rebuild it. But you can only rebuild it through transparency. You brought yourself there. You brought yourself to that point of breaking that trust. So be accountable. Learn that you have to rebuild that trust. And you can only do it through transparency. So that pattern of lying, when you continue the planet of lying or avoidance, it means that you are not interested in doing the work. That means you are someone who's in future, you cannot be trusted. Because it means you are more focused on moving forward than repairing or rebuilding. It means the message is clear. I don't want to deal with this. I know I'm faulty, but I don't want to deal with this. And we can't have that in 2025, in the year of the snake. We have to shed all these things. Ni sawa sawa. So shout out to everyone. I have to go. It's almost going to 11. That is true. My shamba guy lied. His bro is sick, but kwenda soko nampata mjei. Exactly. So, and even your shamba boy is subconsciously lying. He didn't even know why he lied to you. But he felt that he had to create a lie for no reason at all. And don't even blame him. Don't blame him for lying to you. Don't blame him. Some of these things are deep in your psyche. Some of these things are deep in your genetics. Some of your parents had to lie to survive. Your mom had to lie to your dad all the time that she cared about him, even when he was battering her every day. She had to lie for the survival of the children because they couldn't work it out. They couldn't have difficult conversations. So imagine you are born by a woman who has lied all her life to her husband. So she stayed in that relationship. But remember, she gave birth to you. It's in your genes. It's in your nature. It's something that you learned as a pattern. Subconscious, you don't even know how you learn to lie like your mother. You have heard people saying she lies like her mother. So, but you're not your mother. You are not your father. You came through them, but you are not them. So let's change all these things. Like, it's a small step, and it may look like a small step, but learning to repair things is a big step, because whatever you are doing on the outside, you're also doing on the inside. Let's start things from the inside first, so that they reflect on the outside. So start working from within. Be honest to yourself. Deal with the issues that you are going through. Look at yourself in the mirror. Deal with yourself first. Like Michael Jackson, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Then come outside. Ciao, ciao.